times, it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
School, I need students, but I need teacher.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything. If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet sour taste for all. Their demands, a familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development, as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Welcome back, everyone. Again tonight, we'll take you to Bakassi local government area, one of Nigeria's richest oil gulfs, located south of Cross River State. Bakassi Peninsula that was ceded to Cameroon as a result of the judgments by the International Court of Justice. It is, however, worthy to mention that the Nigerian Senate rejected the transfer since the Green Tree Agreement ceding the area to Cameroon was contrary to Section 12 of the 1999 Constitution. Regardless, the territory was ceded to Cameroon. Now, indigenes of Bakassi are calling on the federal government to come to their aid. They want President Bola Tinubu to mandate the National Assembly to immediately delist or delete Bakassi from the list of the 774 local government areas recognized by Nigeria. In all this, where does Bakassi really belong? Is it Nigeria or Cameroon? What is the fate of the people of that area? Well, tonight, to answer all these questions and more, I'm joined by Florence Ita-Giwa, former senator representing Cross River South Senatorial District and former advisor to the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, on legislative matters. Good evening to you, Senator. Thank you so much for joining us on Politics Tonight. It's been a week since I had this conversation with Mr. Obunoble, a lawyer representing the people of Bakassi. There's been a lot of reactions since that conversation happened. And overall, Nigerians are asking why we should still be having this conversation. This is 2025, 17 years after the people of Bakassi are still displaced. First, how did we get here?
How did we get there? It's a very, very long story. So I don't know if we have enough time, to talk about it. But I'm going to try and make it as short as possible in view of the fact that we don't have more time. For me, the struggle for Bakassi started when I didn't even think I'll go into politics. You understand? It's something that I kind of inherited from my father, because he retired and went to live there and started the struggle with the gendarmes. So cut a long story short, eventually I grew up, I went to House of Rep, and at the end of it, when we were sent away by the military, all of a sudden I started getting information that they were changing names of Bakassi villages to Cameroonian names. That's when, it was like an alert that something worse is going to happen. So I now started talking about it, and that's when my advocacy started as far back as, and I'm talking about maybe 33 years ago, long before I got to Senate, So along with others, it's been a long, long struggle. Something that I thought, there's sometimes we live in denial. I said, no, this cannot happen, and yet it is happening. So at the end of the day, there was so much pressure at that time. We were much younger. A lot of other young people from there joined me. At that time, we had not even started talking about seeding. Through the help, God bless her, of Mrs. Abacha, I even managed to take the case as a young lady to the attention. And then, quite a long story short, when the Constitution Conference of Abacha came up, I was invited as a delegate. And I believe that that was a platform for me to use to, propagate our case, which I did along with Chief Tony Ani, was very, very supported. Emmanuel San, Dr. Emmanuel San. So many people came together and we fought that battle.
So
and Abacha created that Bakassi local government area. But at that time, the Cameroon government had taken Nigeria to court. You understand? But he did not subject himself to that jurisdiction. You understand? He ignored it. And we continue. We're very happy that a local government was created and we are in Nigeria, and then we started all the processes that, any local government in Nigeria would enjoy. Unfortunately, after Abacha died, the case came up because, excuse me, I have a bad voice, because somehow Bakassi people really appreciate what Abacha did. Abacha gave us the local government, Abacha gave us the dignity that at least whatever is left of that we have today. So, but unfortunately Abacha died and the Cameroon government brought up the case. In fact, they had passed judgments. As a matter of fact, this is very serious. They had passed, because we did not subject ourselves to that jurisdiction. Nobody, when nothing happened. So they initially passed judgment, and but by the time Nigeria joined, they had made up their mind, as far as I'm concerned. So that area, they passed judgment that the area actually belongs to Cameroon because they were very, very antagonistic. They felt that it was a military junta, and military junta, they can do what they like. So they dismissed our defense.
So the people of Bakassi have been displaced since then?
Since then, judgment came when my boss, Obasanjo came. The matter came up again quite seriously. And this time was about implementation of the judgment. You understand? And I believe that he tried his best. I went to so many meetings with him. So many meetings with him. With the president of Cameroon there. And Kofi Annan tried his best. At some point, Obasanjo tried, made efforts actually to buy back because the situation was bad. In the course of law, we had lost the case. So he tried buyback, it didn't work. So in the end, he had to allow, the sealing to take place. But now, when people talk about what people did and what people didn't do, after the sealing, and after some time, we found out that there was a window where Nigeria can actually go and appeal. There was actually a window. So we started talking about that window for Nigeria to take advantage of that window to appeal. Nobody answered. In my state, because at that time, we hadn't lost the oil wells. So before we lost the oil wells, because I know that apart from even the people suffering, the sealing was going to affect Cross River State tremendously economically. You understand? It would, because the oil well, when it's taken away, of course, what is left?
Absolutely.
Then nothing is left. So we started demonstration. If you look through the images I sent to you, you'll see where we went on the street to demonstrate. Asking Nigerian government to revisit, to take advantage of that window, to revisit the case, to appeal.
So the government at that time did not?
Did not, because yes, in my state, it did not, and in Nigeria, it did not. You understand? We talked about it, we called person, we made, did not at that time.
So we'll get to that in a moment, because, part of the reactions last Monday's conversation generated was people saying displacement is a global issue. But for you and your people, what makes this different?
Say that again.
There are some words, some Nigerians had said last Monday that displacement is a global issue. Yes. But for you and other stakeholders, what makes this different?
You mean me and others?
Yes.
No, I don't think being displaced is a pleasant thing to talk about. You understand? And mind you, we need to go back to the seeding. You understand? Because at the time the ceiling took place, there was the Green Tree Agreement. You understand that now assured us that we're going to be relocated to a place that is convenient to our way of life. Every citizen of Nigeria, you know, we all have our different ways of life. We have our different sorts of survival of income earning, and Bakassi people are predominantly fishermen. So there was a promise that we're going to be moved to an area that is convenient and good for us, for our way of life, for what we do, with our political structure intact, with our religious structure.
The administration did not fulfill that promise.
That promise, you know, we're seated and nothing was fulfilled.
By the former president's administration?
Yes.
Okay. So how has life been in Bakassi? Do you still have contacts there? Are you still speaking with the people?
You see, we were relocated to Ikang, which I'm sure that everyone in Nigeria knows. You understand? Ikang North, Ikang South, Ikang Central, you know. And those three words were carved out of Akpabuyo to make up our words, you know. And we are initially from the same generation. Do you understand? Bakassi local government was carved out of Akpabuyo. Akpabuyo was carved out of Odupani. So what I'm talking about is certain similarities that made it easy for us to coexist together. You understand? When we were seeded to. It's not that we're left like that. We have been seeded to an area. You understand? Bakassi local government is in existence in an area, in the area that we're seeded to. You know, it's rather complicated if you want to talk about it, but we had an arrangement.
It's a really complicated issue.
Everything is complicated, you know, but it's okay. But then they still quickly went and enacted a law, law number 7. Okay. You understand? Which some part of it we didn't like. But you know,
what exactly do you not like about that law?
You know, I did not like, you know, we were trying not to lose our identity. Okay. So we objected strongly to being called Ward 1, Ward 2, because we were known as Abana to Odion and wanted to retain that. However, that law number 7 came up. But at that time, it's either you lose your identity completely, another. So whatever it is, we had to sign MOU, you understand, to say that, okay, which in fairness to the host community, they were very, very accommodating. You understand? They allowed us to sign an agreement, MOU of 50-50. You understand? And then very, very seamless rotation. That is, this time you go and this time, you know, the other person will go. And that, you know, kind of worked out, you know, for some time. But the mistake, just like federal government would have referred the issue of ceiling to the National Assembly for ratification, you understand, before implementing it. You understand? But we are careless in Nigeria. They didn't do that. Now, the same state, Cross River State, now put in place that law, but that law was not domiciled with National Assembly. Okay. You understand? For ratification before implementation, which means that that law is recognized only within Cross River State. You understand? Which makes everything so very, very complicated. But the good thing, I must say, you understand, because he who wears the shoe knows where it hurts. You know, the good thing is that whatever it is, either the federal or the law number 7 allowed us to exist as Nigerians. Because at some point, we're going to be declared stateless. Do you understand?
I get that.
So, and then it was discovered that there were parts of the old Bakassi that, you know, wasn't seeded. Even though Cross River State had lost the oil wells, you know, which is the most unfortunate and which we are still suffering from till today, you know. So now, we also discovered that in the constitution of federal government, which I've been telling everybody, you know, we don't have any issue with the host community. Okay. You understand? Because they have been very, very accommodating, very tolerant. We have had, you know, rotation. We contest election. And I'll tell you how we managed to contest election, because we were actually going to be delisted. And INEC chief that was sympathetic quickly warned us that if we do not now go and register somewhere, because Bakassi is in the federal, it's in the constitution as Abana to Odion. So we can take advantage of that and go to the unceded area, delineate that unceded area, and live there, and which is also convenient because it's by the seaside. So I had to quickly, along with the paramount ruler and other leaders, we took advantage of that. You understand? Right. And now try to move into the area that we call Day Spring today, on the advice of INEC.
Okay.
You understand? And so in order not to risk not being in the constitution, because we are in the constitution as a banner to Odion. So we had to on our own. I would not say that I did it alone because they told me that, oh, you did this, but I didn't do it alone. It was a very crazy period for us that we had to take certain decisive actions to remain in this country.
The Green Tree Agreement, otherwise known as the Green Tree Accord,
yes,
has it been ratified by the National Assembly?
No, not up to today. Neither has law number 7. I cannot answer that question because it was not submitted. It was not submitted to the National Assembly.
So it means it's an illegal document.
Yeah, that's the word to use. Yeah. You understand? That's the word to use. It was not domiciled at National Assembly for ratification up to today. You know, but again, we are talking about the world, not just Africa, not Nigeria. So a judgment has been passed. As far as the world is concerned, that judgment has been implemented. But I did, and the promises were made that they reneged on. I even went around most of the countries that were signatories to that agreement to report to them that this promise that was made in New York at the point of signing that agreement has not been implemented. People have not been properly resettled. Neither, you know, all the structures. But the good thing that happened is that we are able to survive in Nigeria and we are able to take part in the democratic process. You know, that's what has happened to us today. Now, what we are asking is that the Day Spring that we discovered, that we went there, because see, I came here, I had to do this. I am a Senator Florence Ita-Giwa. I have my voter's card.
Okay.
And this voter's card reads Ataima, which is my ward in Bakassi local government, and that is in the Day Spring area. And everybody, most people from Bakassi have this. Even our host community had to fix themselves into some words to also carry this identity, which is the voter's card.
All right.
Now, like I said, we don't have any issue.
So I need to be clear on something, Senator. Tonight, are you saying that the Green Tree Agreement is a complicated document for you and other stakeholders?
No, by rights, you understand, the world and Nigeria is obliged, you understand, to now carry out what they promised Bakassi people, which they have not. But let me tell you, you know, that the way we are, the way Africans are, because I'm saying this with a lot of difficulty, but I don't want to say what is not correct, you know. But the way we are accommodating, you understand? We have settled very well with the host community, you understand? But there are disadvantages. There are areas where the host community would not have any opportunity to rear their head to aspire for anything, because that area has been assigned to someone. I don't know whether you understand.
I do.
You understand? And there are also areas where the returnees, that's the refugees, the Bakassi people, would not, you know, have the opportunity to rear their head, which is, that total freedom is not there. So that's why I say, okay, let's spread out. We have never had any skirmishes, no problem with the host committee. But we're saying that let Bakassi Riverine, you understand, move to the Riverine area, which is the Day Spring, and let the host community stay here. Because it would also be unfair to ask the 3 wards to move back to Akpabio, where they have been taken out already. So we can have, you know, 2 state constituencies.
So is this an act of irresponsibility or the failure of the system?
Sorry? No. See, we petitioned the government of Jonathan. Because we have said that forget about going to revisit the judgment. Any attempt to go and revisit the judgment will be exercised in futility. Because the judgment has been passed and we did not appeal. But now we have been, you know, resettled in Ikang, 1, 2, and 3. You understand? But we do need space. We have found some areas that were not seeded. We have gone to that area on our own.
I get that, Senator. I asked you a question.
So we are asking government to come and develop that area. You understand? I have been inside that area. We face the challenges of going into that area. It was an area that was predominantly, occupied by militants. But we have to go and have an arrangement. We have to have discussions with them before we could enter the area. The 10 wards that INEC delineated to us, we have gone there. I have put, some kind of light generator and put borehole in that area. So we have done that area. We have tried to make it habitable. But Nigeria has to go and develop that area. We are not saying that take us out. We have election process. We are settled. But we need to move to an area where we can call our home, where the traditional ruler can say that this is my domain. Not a housing estate. Not a housing estate. We have to move to a natural area, you understand, that agrees with our lifestyle, where the traditional ruler will have his palace, where we have the kingdom, where we have the church, where we have everything. That's what we are asking for.
So my earlier question was about the Green Tree Accord and whether or not it was too complicated or a complicated document for you stakeholders, because according to other stakeholders who had also been, fighting this cause, they believe that agreement only addressed the citizenship rights of Bakassi inhabitants who remain within the Bakassi region, but failed to address the rights of those persons who may be on the Nigerian side of the border. I thought it was an oversight. The lawyer I spoke with said it was a failure of the system. Do you agree with that?
We are talking theory.
Okay.
You understand? Every Nigerian, every African, everybody can go to, you can go to Togo, you can go to Cameroon, you understand? And decide to live there, but you are still Nigerian.
Yeah.
Nigerians were given a choice to stay either in Nigeria, you understand, or go to Cameroon. And all of us said that we are not Cameroonian. We are ethnic people. Yes. We are one of the 7, one of the ruling houses of the ethnic kingdom. So we are Nigerians. Although some people, to be quite honest, went back there because of their income, because they didn't want to be moving around as refugees, But we do have an arrangement where every election, every Nigerian living in Bakassi comes back because they have this voter's card to come and vote. What the point I'm making is that the Bakassi person in Nigeria has the right to vote and be voted for.
Absolutely.
You understand? In fact, right now, we have a Bakassi son as chairman of the local government. We have Bakassi children as councillors. So we are saying that do not pack us all in this place. Let's all spread out. Now that I heard the brilliant lawyer talk about a petition that was sent. I developed that petition.
You did?
And of course, and through the help of Mrs. Jonathan, she pushed with me until the matter got to the president. And the president now set up a presidential committee, you understand, to address this issue of resettlement. And the recommendation of that committee was that we didn't ask to be taken out of ICANN. You understand? We asked to be given 2 constituencies. We asked government to go and develop the riverine Bakassi, which is Day Spring. We asked to be given 2 constituencies because we cannot, it would be unfair. It would be inhuman to drive away people that accommodated us. So we said, okay, let them be constituency 1 and we are constituency 2. So we are asking for 2 constituencies, 2 state constituencies in the assembly. So which means that each group is equally represented. I hope you are following me. You understand? So certain issues have to be addressed through advocacy. You understand? And because we have all become activists. I spent most of my life going around everywhere. You understand? Pleading the cause of Bakassi.
All right. So, Senator, let's get this out of the way. Let's establish or understand if indeed the people of Bakassi Peninsula have demonstrated their will to be part of Nigeria. Is that correct?
We are Nigerians. There's no question. Please don't say that.
Okay.
You understand? I am a Nigerian. We are Nigerians. And we carry the Nigerian voters card. All we are asking is that come and develop the area. We are not talking about either not being Nigerians. We are not talking about going back to go and revisit a judgment that has been passed internationally. Except somebody wants to use that to siphon money out of Nigeria. No. We are not asking for, that it has passed. That has passed. We are asking, all we are asking is for that, develop that area and let some of us go there. You understand? And the government has been trying. In the times of Ayade, he built a resettlement camp. But we said that we don't want to be in a resettlement camp. But out of necessity, we moved into, some people moved there, and during NSAS, the whole place was brought down. So the people were rendered homeless again. Do you understand that?
You.
Yes. That is certain, even though we reluctantly accepted it out of desperation. But the place was brought down during NSAS, and people were homeless. So the homeless people now, what we want is that go and develop Day Spring, you know. And see, the scars of war, the scars of being a refugee is something you carry all
I can imagine. And I asked that question because...
You need to heal. Like me, even personally, I'm healing.
Yeah. You know, I asked the question because I remember it was in 2012, and I'm sure you're aware of this. Honorable member representing Akwaboyo, Bakassi and Calabar South, SNIE, had sponsored a motion for self-determination for the Bakassi people. He thought it was important for the Bakassi people to have a right to self-determination.
Let me tell you, at the time
should be determined by
at the time that they were talking about ceding Bakassi, you understand? We didn't come together.
Senator, we'll talk about that when we come back from this break. Let's go on this break and we'll have that conversation. Please stay with us.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Experience information and entertainment like never before as TVC Breakfast takes your weekends to a whole new level. Introducing TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, your ultimate source of thrilling sports updates, insightful political analysis, and captivating entertainment news. Stay in the know with what's trending, catch up with the latest in sports, and immerse yourself in the latest buzz from the world of music and movies. Your weekends are no longer just days off, but moments packed with knowledge, excitement, and enjoyment. TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, only on TVC News.
Welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us on Politics Tonight. Senator Florence Ita-Giwa, politician, former senator, former presidential advisor, is my guest tonight. And our conversation is Bakassi and Matters Arises. Senator, thank you very much for staying with us in the program. So you wanted to react to former House of Reps member SNIE, who had sponsored a motion for self-determination. Was that siphoning funds as well?
Yeah, I thought that was good because you know, at the time, we had threatened to exercise our right, self-determination, at the initial stage when we were about to be seated. In fact, when the judgment was going to be implemented, we did threaten that if that judgment was implemented, we're going to exercise our right to self-determination. We're going to declare Republic of Bakassi. We're invited by the president, who again promised us, you know, that it would not be good for the country. We also start talking about that because people actually knew that we were serious. So we're getting calls from outside, you know, outside Nigeria, outside Africa. So the president told us that they're going to make the seeding very painless. You know, we're going to be seated with everything in place, our structure, you know. And unfortunately, it hasn't been totally that. But, you know, as a Nigerian, not because of fear or not because I heard something like, oh, she's in a ruling party and all that, she would not want to rock. What vote would I not want to rock? When something is affecting the welfare of my people that I lead and myself as well. You understand?
So in a moment,
the problem, you see, the problem with Nigeria, and the problem with Nigerians is that activism and even the so-called self-determination is not easy. You know, there are a group of people that when they are in government, when they're, you know, for you to continue activism, you have to keep moving. You understand? You have to keep the movement going. But, you know, after some time in Africa, people get tired. Okay. You understand? After some time, okay, the government will see that, all right, so these people are getting very strong. So they get some people and give them, nice positions in government and all that. So that weakens them. Okay. And that weakens the activity, you understand? Because most people, not only Nigeria, once they're settled, once they're in position in government, they don't worry about whether we have been settled in Ikan.
Thank you for going there, Senator, because your people say, as at the time of signing this agreement, which you've alluded to this evening, former President Olusegun Obasanjo promised to ensure that all political and foundational structure of Bakassi remain intact. And as at that time, 80 billion naira was estimated for the resettlement of the Bakassi people. But how much was released during the administration of former President?
I've been interviewed severally, and as far as I'm concerned, the issue of how much was given for resettlement for Ita-Giwa is a no-go area, because I'm not a governor, and till today, how many years? I have never been invited by any governor to discuss how much was allocated to Cross River State for resettlement. You understand? But I do know that in my time, 2 estates were built, and I was asked to come and distribute the estates. Just like the one that Ayade built, and I was asked to distribute the estate. But moving on.
So you're saying no fund was released during the administration of former President?
I cannot say that because I'm not in administration. I'm a lawmaker, you understand? I cannot say that. I cannot know. I'm unable to tell you. I'm sorry whether any fund was released, because nobody has ever called me to tell me that so fund has been released. But going forward today, I think what we still want, and today, luckily for us, the present governor is moving in the right direction. You understand? He has gone to establish the deep sea ports in the Ikan, in the Spring area. And if that, because they've been on it for so many years, but right now I'm seeing some level of seriousness. You understand, by Governor Ochu, with the present governor. So if that is implemented, it would alleviate poverty and hunger. And then it will also open up the day spring. Because the issue is that let the riverine people move to day spring. You understand? Politically, it would not have any consequence. But just that there will be, I'm an advocate of consistency 1 and 2. We have been together for about 17 years now. So we don't think it's necessary for it to separate us. But let us move to our area, in another constituency, and let it be here, and then we still operate politically under the same umbrella. That's what I'm asking for. You understand?
Senator, we'll move on, but let's go back to the issue of funding, because, according to the lawyer I spoke with, and former House of Rep member, SNI, he says that, was alleging rather, there are some prominent sons and daughters of Bakassi who have been sabotaging the efforts of both the state and the federal government in resettling their people. And of course, some Nigerians have also been saying Bakassi has prominent sons and daughters. Kindly hold on, Senator.
Bakassi has prominent sons and daughters, and with all humility, I would say that I'm the number one prominent.
Why has it been hard? Senator, let me land with my question.
I just showed you. Bakassi has prominent sons and daughters. You understand? Wait, my dear girl, let me tell you something. Bakassi has prominent sons and daughters, and Ita-Giwa is the number one prominent son, daughter, not son, And I think that in my time, I achieved this voters card for them. Okay. I would say this with all sense of humility. You understand that if this is my achievement, as otherwise this people would have been declared stateless. They probably wouldn't have been in Nigeria if I didn't get this voters card. And in the course of doing this, people would have lost their lives. In fact, as a matter of fact, the traditional ruler and myself almost lost our lives together. Trying to go to an area where we can claim to be our own, where we can go and vote and be voted for. You understand? Both of us were going to go into a boat together, and he said, no, 2 generals don't board the same boat at the same time. You stay behind and let me enter. And not 2 minutes before they left, the boat capsized. So people paid sacrifice. I've done a lot. I don't want to talk.
Expected more
yes, I don't want to talk because everything I've done in Bakassi, up to the point of losing my identity, I'm being called my Bakassi. I feel that there are things that I'm obliged to do. So it's not what I want to talk about. My disappointment today is that the people have not been relocated to Day Spring, which is what they're advocating for. You understand? But in activism, in anger, people make sometimes very inflammatory utterances, and all that. But I don't think,
we can't talk about Bakassi without talking about you.
I don't think for any reason I want to be moved out of. I want to be taken out of the constitution of my country. Because this is my country. This is where I belong. So I would not want my local government to be taken out. But in anger and frustration, people can make, very, very inflammatory statements, which is out of order. We should address the issue. The issue is not being taken out of the constitution. But these young men, because I allow also for the next generation, to come and, advocate for what they want, what is right. Because we have tried our best. I'm approaching 80. I'm not young anymore. You understand? So the next generation can take up the fight. But the luck we have, as I'm saying, is that the present governor understands our plight. Okay. Yes, he's very, very sympathetic. And right now, for the first time, he has put a new generation of, Bakassi children in the government of Cross River State as local government chairman, as advisors in the council, as advisors even in his own government. So we have more sense, now we have more sense of belonging. And for me, as a businesswoman, the fact that DC port is going to Bakassi, which is Dayspring, it would open up the area. It would take away the issue of unemployment and poverty. It would open up trade for Cross River State. And then people, at least to reduce poverty. Because what is killing the people is hunger, no roof over their head, no shelter. But I'm going to thank God I have this opportunity. That, we do not want government to spend any money in trying to revisit the issue of Bakassi. We are Nigerians. It is gone. We are Nigerians. We have settled in Nigeria. We have the Nigerian voters card. We have been voting and we have been voted for. You understand? I contested 4 elections and I won my 4 elections as a Nigerian, not as a Cameroonian. You understand? All we are asking for is that area should not be allowed to waste. Let the riverine Bakassi move to that area. Dayspring. You understand? And let there be 2 constituencies, which is in that report. Because Jonathan did set up a report, which the gentleman told you here. You understand? And the recommendations were quite brilliant. And
what were they? What were the recommendations?
Recommendation is what I'm telling you. You understand? That set up, move the Bakassi people to that Dayspring area, develop the area, then let there be constituency 1 and 2, and then with the local governments of that place being in Abana. Because the local government of Bakassi was in Abana. And then we want the local government return to Abana, where the local government headquarters was. And then we continue with the rotation. Because, politically we've not had any skirmishes. They contest, we contest. But what we want is that the traditional ruler must be taken to an area that is conducive to his way of life. You understand? With his palace, his kingdom, and people around him, the people must be given home. Let them go to Dayspring. Let them establish schools, clinics, everything. I've tried. This is what I've been talking about.
I understand how emotional this is for you, but you must understand that Nigerians cannot talk about Bakassi without talking about you. You're a prominent daughter. And I mean, at the time, you were the chairman of Bakassi Resettlement Committee, you were a senior member of the PDP, and you're also on different platforms soliciting for the resettlement of your people. Part of the question was, what could have made it...
At that time, you see, I'm not going to... I have been an activist over, all my life, and I'm not going to say anything out of fear. You understand? I'm the daughter of a journalist, a woman who went in and out of detention 3 times in her life. You understand? And I'm also married to Ita-Giwa that today nobody knows how he was slaughtered. So I fear nobody. I say the truth. But I like to address issues. You understand? Without sentiment. The issue today is that we have settled in Nigeria. We are Nigerians. Develop Dayspring for people to move there. I do not think that going to ask to be taken out of the constitution of Nigeria is what will solve the problem. You understand? Because you go to Cameroon, they drive you away.
So this is you reacting to Obunobla, asking that
I'm not reacting to him, I'm reacting to my people. My people would have said things, when people are agitated, my people are frustrated. So when people are agitated, they can say things, they can say inflammatory things, you understand? Yes, it's the next generation. So that's okay, I'm not angry with them, but the thing is that let us work with this governor who is now making effort to heal us. To heal us. Yes, he's establishing structures in that place, in the whole of that area. even the issues that we had with the militants and all that is taking care of it. Before to enter Day Spring, we had to negotiate to enter Day Spring. Today, you know, the area is calm. The crime is less in the area. So me, I like to be focused. You understand? I am, and today I speak as a mother, if not even grandmother. You know, that in fairness to Nigeria, I even said that in fairness to the past government, they've been very, very accommodating of. You cannot imagine the things I did. I don't know why you are not showing the images of our demonstrations, you know, because I did send the pictures in.
So they must have shown it at different times.
Yes, you understand? The images of our demonstration, and today I asked myself in retrospect, why wasn't I arrested? It was a government that...
I mean, that was why your people expected more from you.
I don't have any more to give. You understand? Other than for us to be relocated to Day Spring. You understand? Because I don't think I should give more than I've given. And I think also the next generation should come and continue that advocacy for us to be taken to Day Spring to develop the area. Then let us have constituency 1 and 2. Okay. You understand? And continue to live, you know.
Those are some of the pictures there. All right. So, Senator, tonight you're saying that the listing or deleting Bakassi local government from the 774 local governments in Nigeria is not the answer. It's not the solution.
It's not the answer. It's not the answer. It won't take you anywhere because it would even be worse if you move to Cameroon. You understand? Because they're very, very unfriendly, very, very nice. We know today, the Nigerians that choose to be in Cameroon, any income, most times they cry back. You know, they maltreat them. You understand? They take away their boat from them. They take away their earnings from them. So it is in your country, at least here I have a voice. I can speak. The country has not resettled us properly. Let them resettle us properly and let them help this government. You know, I cannot put pressure on governor too because it's not the state government that seeded me. It's the federal government that seeded me. But however, the governments have tried their best to give us that sense of belonging. You know, but people are suffering, people are jobless, people are, you know, so they should help this governor too, you understand? They should help the present governor who is totally committed to the welfare and well-being of the Bakassi people. They should now help him to develop that Day Spring area to reduce his problems. And then the project that he has carried on, which is a very, very ambitious project, you know, establishing that deep sea ports, you understand? They should make sure that that happens because once it happens, it will alleviate poverty. You know, it will take care of unemployment. Then people will be happy. What do people want? People want to be comfortable. People want jobs. People want creation of jobs. They want where their children will go to school, you know, and be happy. People want healthcare delivery and all that. So that, and the land is there. So let federal government help this governor to go into Day Spring, you know, actualize the deep sea port, you know, which is working day and night for, go into Day Spring, develop the area, and give us constituency 1 and 2.
Okay. So, Senator, out of curiosity, where is the capital of Bakassi local government, as shown in Cross River State map?
As shown in the one I talk about, you know, I don't want to, because Bakassi is in the Constitution of Nigeria as one of the 774 local government, you understand? And the Constitution of Nigeria, Abana, is known as the headquarters of Bakassi local government. You understand? And when we moved to this Day Spring, when we were registered, everybody was registered in Day Spring. What we have there is Abana as the headquarters. And that's what we still have today.
Okay. But also, where is the unceded part of Bakassi shown in the Cross River State of Nigeria?
It's in Day Spring, under Cross River State.
All right.
So everything is geographically located in Day Spring, in Cross River State. You know, and already we have understanding, you know, we have moved on. We have understanding that all of us, even with the host community, you know, we've not been hostile to each other. They've not been hostile to us. And we have carried them along. I make sure that I address every injustice. It's not allowed. And I thank God for how much they've accommodated. I even thank the past governors. So when people talk about me, you know, you don't want to know what the governors have gone through with Ita-Giwa. Yes. You know, when I said they must have been extremely tolerant. I said demonstration, I go on. You know, I abuse them, I say all kinds of things. At some point, one even organized for me that I should go. I should leave Cross River State and go to Abuja. Another one said I should go to Cameroon. And so you can imagine what frustration, how much talking. Well, it's not the governor's fault. The governor did not sit Bakassi. You You understand? It is the federal government that seeded Bakassi. So this interview today, and I thank God for this opportunity. You know, this thing is addressed to federal government. And yes, I am in government. Yes, I'm in APC. So I'm going to be appealing to the government to come to, you know, government to come to the plight of my government in my state and the people, you understand, and really, you know, go and develop that day spring so that the riverine people can move to day spring and we can continue to work together as constituency 1 and 2. Establish 2 federal constituencies so that everybody is accommodated politically.
I hear you said it's about a petition has now been sent to the presidency, petitioning the presidency to mandate the National Assembly to seize the welfare of your people. What difference can this make this time? In my thinking, with due respect, because people have the right to do what they want, but I think that these issues can best be handled through advocacy. You think so?
Yes, I think so.
I do not think
that the court will have jurisdiction to go and pass judgment that the president...
But Senator, with many years of advocacy, what difference did that make?
It made. We have this.
But your people are still suffering.
You understand? This is the most
The people are still displaced.
If you have a child, I'm sure that you have children. When even you, when you grow more than this, you understand. One day you want to go and be governor of your state. Another, if you don't have this, you're not a Nigerian.
But Senator, these
so
people
for
are
me,
still
for me,
that's why we're having this
that pressure
conversation.
came with us being Nigerian, number one.
Okay.
You understand? We have the Nigerian voters. Otherwise, we would have been declared stateless. So in fairness to this country, the country has done well to accommodate us. Though it's not our fault that we were seeded. We didn't ask to be seeded. It's a very unpleasant thing to happen to any human being where you become a refugee in your own country. So we want, we want to receive more healing. Let government go and develop day spring and move us to day spring. And also have this government, the governor who is trying his very best to make us feel, accommodated, give us that sense of belonging. Because sons and daughters of Bakassi are in government. But let them engage others, because those that are out are those that are frustrated.
So, Senator, you're not answering my question. If advocacy had not solved this crisis, if many years of advocacy had not seen, made sure or...
No, you're not understanding all that.
I understand you. Your people are still displaced.
You're not understanding me either. Because what are we talking about? We are talking about government going to develop day spring.
Okay.
Right? You understand? But first of all, we had gotten government to delineate day spring.
Okay.
From a banner to Odion ward. So how would that have happened? It would have been worse if we did not have wards that we come from, which is not recognized at the federal level. It would have been worse if government, even on their own, had taken us out of the constitution. The government knows that they did not lose the whole of Bakassi. That there's some portion of Bakassi left in Nigeria, and then, Bakassi people are still Nigerians. So, but we have not really, we cannot sit down and say that we have been treated well.
Okay.
Because by right, over the years, just like Bono, they developed an area for them. You understand? So I've been advocating, I've been talking and shouting. But I do also know that if tomorrow I go and hire a lawyer and say, okay, go to court, carry the president to court, you understand? Does the court not belong to the same country, the same president? So the court passes judgment and says that, okay. So what would be the punishment? That if you don't resettle this, you are going to pay fine or something. No, let us push as a group of people. Let us push and apply more pressure.
But for those who believe in the justice system, it may be the answer. And also advocacy plus petition
No.
may just be
the
answer.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm a lawmaker. Perhaps the lawyer feels that he can get results from taking government to court. I wouldn't take government to court. Rather, I would use pressure. I would use the media, like now I'm with you. You have given me a platform, you understand, to tell government, to tell Nigerians what I'm looking for my people. You understand? That please let me not leave this world without settling my people in giving them homes in their land. So I'm using this platform to make my request and all that. But I wouldn't go and get a lawyer to pay a lawyer
just like you said, this is a new generation. Perhaps petitioning
so the new generation,
I
believe in the evolution of life, and it should. So new people come with their own approach, because new leaders are emerging from both sides. And I don't get angry. I allow them to express themselves, you know. But I can still follow up the way I can still keep doing things the way I've been doing, which is advocacy, pressure, and all that. I will not take my government to court. You understand? The government that I come from, the government, you know. But I would rather use advocacy, and I believe that that advocacy has helped. Advocacy did not help. The government today would not have taken deep sea port to Bakassi. You understand? And a lot has happened around us. It is not so bad, but you know, there are people that are hungry, are jobless. The traditional ruler does not have his kingdom. And all that. There's a lot of frustration.
So, we'll run out of time. You said a lot tonight, but what message do you have for the federal government, and how urgent do you consider this issue?
It's the same appeal that I've been making, you know, over the years, and today I'm sitting down again using this opportunity and this platform to appeal to the President of Nigeria, to appeal to Nigerians, to appeal to those in government and all of us who are leaders, to listen to the plight of Bakassi people, to go and develop that day spring, you understand, and move the river Rhine to that area, establish 2 constituencies, so that both the host community and the refugees will be accommodated, you know, because we have been working together very well. So I recommend 2 constituencies, constituency 1 and 2, you understand, in the state assembly, that is 2 state constituencies. And but most importantly, let them go and develop Day Spring, 1 and 2 and Kuala. Let them establish homes there, let them establish homes for the traditional, let them establish homes for the people. Those estates that they were building all over the place, let that money be channeled to that Day Spring, so that the people can go back to their fishing.
So
you understand? Because that area is very, very rich in aquatic wealth. So let them go back there and use it. The people want to work, they're not lazy. They're not asking for handout. They want to go to where they can wake up and carry their boats and go to do their fishing to earn their income.
I'm sure that's the message there, and that's the basis of this conversation. We hope government moves in swiftly so that your people can be resettled.
Of course, because they're human beings, they're Nigerian, they should be treated well as Nigerians.
Thank you so much.
And I want to also thank the governor for what he's been doing, for accommodating Bakassi people in the government, for giving them that sense of belonging. And also for that, the deep sea port, all of us must come together and help him actualize that deep sea port.
All right. Thank you very much, Senator Florence Ita-Giwa, politician, former presidential advisor. Thank you so much for coming on Politics Tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think I should also commend TVC for this. This is
like
being in a television studio anywhere in the world. This is amazing.
Thank you
it's
very
happening
much,
in Nigeria.
Thank you.
I'm really, really pleasantly shocked to see this.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Well done.
Thank you so much. And thank you very much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today.